a major step to diversify coaching staffs on teams by requiring teams to hire a woman or a person of color as an offensive coach.
The announcement comes as the league deals with concerns and backlash over its hiring practices, especially after a lawsuit from former Miami Dolphins head coach Brian Flores alleged discrimination against the NFL and several teams. Boston Globe sports columnist Gary Washburn joins us now to help break down this new rule. Hey, Gary, good morning. So just first tell us, how's this requirement going to work? How will it be enforced, and what does it mean for these teams?
Well, teams will be required, as you said, to hire a woman or a person of color on the offensive side, because the NFL has discovered that most of the coaching hires come from offensive coaches, offensive assistant coaches. So they're trying to cultivate a kind of a system where you get people of color and women who are working on the offensive side of the ball who now can become head coaches. The question is whether they'll ever be hired, because there are offensive coaches now who are African-American who have not gotten the opportunity to be a head coach. But this is a start. It's kind of a forced diversity situation because the NFL obviously doesn't trust itself and its owners to be diverse on its own.
I mean, yeah, so all this is happening nearly 2 months after former Dolphins coach Brian Flores filed that class action lawsuit against the league's several teams alleging racial discrimination in the league's hiring process for coaches and executives. The NFL says that lawsuit is, quote, without merit. So right now there are 5 minority head coaches in the NFL and 7 black general managers. The NFL's diversity committee chairman said this week that there's still progress to be made when it comes to diversity. Put those numbers in context for us, and how much work is there to be done?
Well, there's a lot, because it's basically a 70% black league. So you have very little representation when it comes to African-American coaches. And now an emerging factor is women coaches, because there's women coaches who are becoming assistants on staffs. And eventually, maybe down the road, there'll be a female NFL head coach. So that's what the league wants to try to, it says it wants to work for, is true diversity. Of the 9 openings this offseason, 1 was filled by an African-American coach, Lovie Smith in Houston, another by Mike McDaniel in Miami, who considers himself multiracial. So the diversity thing still isn't happening.